Kicking off the list at number 10 is Paris Hilton. I personally have mixed emotions about this one, so I'll let you guys be your own judge. For pretty much her entire career, people have questioned what exactly she does and why she's even famous to begin with. We've seen her dabble with TV, modeling, business, and music, and she's found some kind of success in all categories, so she's clearly doing something right. But she dropped her most recent single in May 2019 called My Best Friend's Ass, and it received a lot of negative reviews. Honestly, it's probably the most ridiculous song and music video I've ever seen, and in case you're wondering, her best friend's ass is Kim Kardashian's. And yes, she's in the video too. So what do you guys think? Is it time that we say goodbye to Paris once and for all, or do you think she will find a breakthrough in 2020? From what I've seen online, people have already said their goodbyes. Next up at number 9 is Liam Neeson. The actor was exposed in 2019 for saying something totally racist and uncalled for that a lot of people wouldn't be too upset if we did ditch him in 2020. Now, he's an incredible actor in my opinion, so I cannot take that credit from him, but he did go a little too far when he said that he thought about killing a black man. But here's the whole story. Someone close to him was raped by a black man, so he started walking the streets with a weapon with the intentions of taking out his anger. His exact words were, "I went up and down areas with a kosh, hoping some black bastard would come out of the pub and have a go at me or something, you know, so that I could kill him." He also said some other things that I cannot say because it's incredibly racist and offensive. He did regret his actions and words, but some people are not so forgiving and would agree that we shouldn't give him our attention this year. Stealing our number 8 spot is Van Lathan. If you're a fan of TMZ, then you know exactly who he is because he's one of the most popular personalities on their TV show. But he got fired in 2019 after he got into a physical altercation with one of the other staff members. Turns out that the argument started around political views. Shocker. His employee Michael Babcock was a support of Trump and things turned bad very quickly. Van ended up putting his hands around Michael's throat, choking him. TMZ did not air the footage of the fight, so fans didn't get to see what exactly happened, but it was announced that Van was fired immediately. Before people knew what exactly happened, he tweeted, "I'm okay, promise you guys, seriously." People were really disappointed by his actions because I'm sure there are a lot of people who do not agree with Trump supporters, but that doesn't mean it's okay to choke them out. In spot number 7 is Jordyn Woods. I don't know much about the girl, but I do know that she was living large as Kylie Jenner's best friend. The world got to know her through their family reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She was living with Kylie at one point and was basically one of the sisters. She worked alongside Kylie for her Kylie Cosmetics brand and also for Khloe's clothing brand Good American. But then she done did it and she broke some major girl code and hooked up with Khloe's man and baby daddy Tristan Thompson. Obviously she was cut off by the entire family and moved out of Kylie's house, but her personal career has been thriving regardless of the scandal apparently. Which I didn't know. And a lot of people don't really agree with it. I feel like she did something really shady and wrong, and if it was anyone else, they would have been blacklisted from Hollywood. So how did her career benefit from this? I'm confused. Moving on to number 6, we got Shane Gillis. The comedian was thrilled when he got hired to be a new cast member on Saturday Night Live, but it only lasted 5 days because he said some incredibly racist jokes online, and it came back to haunt him. During a podcast in 2018, he was using racial slurs and homophobic insults, and critics were calling for him to be removed from SNL. On September 12, 2019, it was first announced that he was hired, and just 5 days later, he was fired because they said his language is offensive, hurtful, and unacceptable. A lot of his fellow SNL comedians came to his defense, saying it's just his type of humor, but the majority of SNL's audience supported his dismissal. Shane did apologize but defended himself, saying he is a comedian who pushes the boundaries. What do you guys think? Did he push a little too hard? Halfway through at number 5 is Adnan Virk. He is a famously known Canadian sportscaster who made headlines in 2019 after being fired from ESPN. He had earned the title of Rising Star after working for the company, but was fired for allegedly leaking confidential information to the media. Basically, the ultimate betrayal. He had signed a 2-year extension but lost it for breaching the confidential contract. If he really did it, that is shady, and of course I think he deserves to be fired, but he denied the entire thing, and in his public statement he said that he did nothing wrong that could justify his termination. ESPN claims that he gave private information to a company called Awful Announcing about a Sunday night baseball story. I don't want to be harsh and say let's kick this guy to the curb. Well, I do, but only if he's guilty guilty. But like, how will we ever really know? Here we are now at number 4, and we have James Charles. Now, this one is not my personal opinion. I'm going based on the internet's opinion. The Twitter world recently went on a rant saying that James needs to be left behind in 2019 and even started a trending hashtag James Charles is over party. 2019 was filled with a whole bunch of scandals and drama for the 19-year-old YouTuber. It all started when a fellow YouTuber, Tati Westbrook, posted a long video making claims that James preys on straight men and uses his fame to convince them to have sex with him. He ended up losing about 3 million subscribers from the scandal. But more recently, on New Year's Eve, he posted lip-syncing videos on his Instagram stories, and it looked like he said the N-word while singing along to My Type. He claims that he skipped over the word, but fans are not believing it and they think he's been given enough chances. I personally don't mind him. I actually kind of like him as a YouTuber, but the internet is voting him out. Cruising as number 3 is Diane Neal. The actress played Casey Novak for many seasons on the hit TV series Law & Order Special Victims Unit. Former campaign manager fired her after a lawsuit was made involving her ex-boyfriend, the celebrity magician JB Ben. The lawsuits are allegations that Ben has physically and sexually abused her and was purposely trying to ruin her career. But an audio recording leaked online and you can hear Diane threatening to kill him and his dog. Now, everyone knows that anything involving the harming of a dog or an animal is a no-go, and the world did not react well to it. On top of all this chaos, her campaign manager, Rachel himself, fired the actress from the show, making claims that she apparently called her castmates awful people and said she did not enjoy her time filming. Now, there is a lot that goes into this whole lawsuit with her ex-boyfriend. It's actually been going on since 2017. She actually says that he killed her dog by cutting his throat. So I don't know who to believe, but either way, I think the entire thing just needs to be left in 2019 because there are no bad vibes in 2020. Taking over our number 2 spot is Ryan Adams. The singer's career came crumbling down in 2019 after he was accused of sexual misconduct against a handful of different women. 7 females came forward saying that he said he dangled the promise of fame and success in front of their faces in exchange for sex. One of them was a 20-year-old musician who says he made inappropriate conversations with her when she was just 15 years old, and also that he exposed himself during a video call with her. Of course, he denied all the allegations and says that it is just a bunch of lies. However, even his ex-wife Mandy Moore came forward and said that she experienced his controlling and manic behavior throughout their 6-year marriage. She said he used his music as a point of control and it even blocked her own ability to make new connections in the industry. Honestly, he sounds like someone that we do not need in 2020. Alright guys, we've made it to number 1, and taking this spot is Kylie Jenner, the world's youngest self-made billionaire according to Forbes. And although she has a successful career and millions of fans, she also has millions of haters. And there's a ton of people out there who do not think she is a self-made billionaire, seeing as her fame came from her family name and the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Honestly, if you scroll through the internet for just a few minutes, you will see that many people feel that all the Kardashian and Jenner clan can be left behind in 2019. Realistically, it's probably not gonna happen because they are all wildly successful, but some people have high hopes that we can forget about Kylie this year. I think people are just tired of hearing about her. But what do you guys think? Are we sick of seeing Kylie Jenner all over our feeds? Beginning our list number 10 is Belle Delphine. If you don't know who she is the anime cosplay YouTuber who sells her bathwater. The 19-year-old online star was once arrested for spray painting the car of someone who stole her hamster, and she had her Instagram account shut down in July 2019 after selling her bathwater online for $30. She's always been the highlight of these crazy headlines, like the time she trolled her fans into thinking she was making a Pornhub account but instead pranked them and Pornhub with videos of her cuddling stuffed roosters. But her final stunt of 2019 was when she started to sell her own urine for $10,000. Yep, a jar of urine is up for sale on her website, and anyone who sells their urine is someone I want to forget about in 2020. And probably for the rest of my life. Coming in next, number 9 is Kanye West. Are we not sick of him yet? He is a talented guy and he's good at what he does when it comes to music, but people are getting fed up with all his controversial behavior, not to mention his huge ego. He is the only celebrity to brag about the fact that he is going to run for president and will succeed if he does. From his different outbursts, to the time he took the mic from Taylor Swift's hand during her acceptance speech, to his rants and Twitter feuds, to the time he said that he is God God and has the purpose of changing the world, I just feel like he can be forgotten about in 2020. Maybe a little like Kanye detox. We got enough ego going on around in this world, we need some more humble. Next up we got Tristan Thompson. He's a professional basketball player for the Cleveland Cavaliers and is also known for being Khloe Kardashian's boyfriend and baby daddy. I'm gonna keep this one pretty simple. Every person who cheats on their significant other should be left behind in 2019 and every other year before that. Just days before Khloe gave birth to their daughter, footage leaked online of Tristan cheating on her with girls in a nightclub. Khloe decided to stay with him and work things out, but they ran into another cheating scandal and one that hit way closer to home. Apparently he was caught cheating with Jordan Woods, Kylie Jenner's best friend, who is basically a little sister to Khloe. So yeah, need I say more? I feel like that's enough reason to forget about him in 2020, and that goes for basically every other cheater out there, male or female. So at the number 7 spot is Jana, also known as Jake Paul and Tana Mongeau. Two of the most famous YouTubers in the world right now who faked an entire relationship, even an epic Las Vegas wedding. But for those of you who might not be involved in the YouTube celebrity world, let me explain quick. They pretended to date, and when fans went crazy thinking they were actually dating, they lived out their entire fake relationship for clout. They did a fake engagement, a fake wedding party, and even a fake wedding in Las Vegas, which was filmed, and their fans had to pay $50 to watch it live online. People got really invested in the relationship thinking that it was real love, but the whole thing was just an act and a money grab. So maybe as individuals, they can stick around for 2020, but as a couple, they need to go. Let's forget all this nonsense ever happened. Moving on to number 6 is Woody Allen. Alright you guys, it is about to get real for a second. I don't know if you've heard any of this controversy that's been going on with him, one of the biggest directors in Hollywood. But when I found out, I was just shocked, and I need to forget about this in 2020 and basically for the rest of my existence. He has been married since 1997 to a woman named Soon-Yi Previn, and although that seems precious, it's actually a very twisted love story. Before their marriage, he was actually married to a woman named Mia Farrow, and Soon-Yi Previn was their adopted daughter. Yes, Woody Allen is married to his adopted daughter. Turns out his ex-wife had found naked pictures of Soon-Yi in Woody's house, who was 21 during that time and he was in his 50s. Their other adopted daughter named Dylan came forward saying that he sexually molested her when she was just 7 years old. And ever since the news broke in 2018, he and his wife/daughter have been ridiculed in the hot seat. Honestly, I cannot have this in 2020. This is just like too weird and uncomfortable for me. Halfway through our countdown, we have James Toback, another massive Hollywood director who lost his reputation when women came forward accusing him of sexual assault. Since April 2017, more than 250 women have made claims against him for sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, and sexual assault. Some of his accusers are well-known celebrities like Rachel McAdams, Selma Blair, and Julianne Moore. The allegations went on for over a year as more people started coming forward, and in 2018 it was announced that the Los Angeles County prosecutors were not going to press any charges. 2 of the declined cases involved misdemeanors and 3 of them were felonies. So raise your hand if you think this man should not be welcome in 2020. No more work for you, sir. You are not invited. Here we are now at number 4 with Alex Jones. He is a popular US radio host and well-known conspiracy theorist who found himself in some serious controversy regarding the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. What happened was, a lawsuit was filed against him by the father of a child who was killed in the shooting. Jones had spent some time on his radio show host claiming that the attack was, I quote, completely fake and a giant hoax. 20 children, all under the age of 10, and 6 adults were killed from it. So the lawsuit claims he failed to give out the right information on the case and was charged with defamation and ordered to pay $126,000. It gets worse. Turns out that his defendant team sent documents to some lawyers who were involved in the shooting case, and in these documents they found child pornography files. Jones says that he is being framed, but the lawyers are claiming that they were hidden in discovery materials. Stealing a 3rd spot on our list is Matt Lauer. He's a news anchor known for being the co-host on NBC's Today Show and a contributor for Dateline NBC. But just a few months ago in October 2019, he was facing rape allegations after his co-worker Brooke Neville's made the claims. She said that he raped her in his hotel room at the 2015 Sochi Olympics. However, he says that everything they did that night in the hotel room was consensual and that it was actually the start to the affair that they continued when they returned back to New York. He was fired from the morning show in 2017 after suspicion of inappropriate behavior in the workplace came to surface before the full story came out. Since then, he's been spending his days laying low in his Hamptons house, spending time with his kids. He and his wife did get divorced after the affair came to surface, and now he is dating another woman named Shaman Abbas. Lucky you picked a good one. Taking over the number 2 spot on our list is Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, I didn't have any issues with this actress until I learned that she started selling candles that apparently smell like her vagina. This is not a joke. It turns out she has started a new discussion of this trend called vaginal steaming and jade eggs, which produces something called sex dust. She started selling sex dust on her website, her wellness company Goop, which she claims is formula that fuels sexual potency. She actually mixes it into her smoothie every morning, apparently. The actress openly talks about the fact that she went through the jade egg process in steaming and captured the essence of her body parts to formulate her candle scent. It costs $75 US, by the way, if you're wanting to buy it. Oh wait, you cannot, because it is already sold out. What in the hell kind of world are we living in right now? Gwyneth and her vagina candles can stay away from me in 2020. I mean, like, you do you, girl. Embrace your body, love yourself, whatever. I'm just personally not into this. Rightfully earning the number 1 spot on our list is Harvey Weinstein. I'm already hoping that we forgot about him in 2019, but he is still being talked about, so I say we make a pact to forget about him in 2020. He was one of Hollywood's biggest movie producers, and he started to lose everything back in 2017 when allegations came to surface that he had sexually harassed and assaulted women. Actresses Rose McGowan, Ashley Judd, and Cara Delevingne were all among the victims who came forward. He lost his position in the industry, and for the last 2 years he's been facing the different charges. As of January 6, 2020, the trial process officially began in New York. It was revealed that the LA County prosecutors have officially charged him with raping one woman and sexually assaulting another one in 2013. We do have to wait for further updates, so it is going to be hard to forget about him in 2020, but let's all just try. Kicking off this countdown list, number 10 is Camila Cabello. I don't want to see this girl go. I love her and I think she's wildly talented. But as of recently, her career is in some hot water and her new tour ticket sales are significantly lower than her last one. A few days ago, she had to issue an apology for some racist comments that came to surface that she said online during her time with the girl group Fifth Harmony. Apparently, one of her remarks was using the N-word towards one of her former bandmates, and some of her other remarks were racist and insensitive comments about African Americans and Asians, and I guess she even cracked jokes about domestic abuse. Her ticket sales right now are taking a hit and people are not having much mercy on her. Do you think that we should forget about her in 2020, or can someone be forgiven for a mistake from their past? I am curious to know what you guys think. Let me know down in those comments. Coming in number 9 is Justin Bieber. He came into 2020 like a wrecking ball after taking a long break from making music. He is about to release his first album in 5 years and gave fans a first look at it with his new single, Yummy. The singer planned out his marketing and uploaded 7 different Yummy music videos to YouTube, all of which were monetized, which obviously heightens his stats for the music charts. But he faced some heat after posting a guide that showed fans how to manipulate the streaming figures and drive his song up to the Billboard's number 1 spot. It showed fans that they can make a playlist filled with the song on loop and just have it playing endlessly to boost his plays. It even suggested playing it on low volume throughout the night while you sleep. No thank you. People are not happy with him trying to scan the system. I mean, is this really what the music industry has come to in 2020? Sniping our number 8 spot is Gina Rodriguez. The hilarious actress made a name for herself starring on the hit TV series Jane the Virgin, and then in the Netflix movie called Something Great. But she found herself facing yet another racial scandal in October 2019. It isn't the first time she's been accused of being racist towards African Americans. This time it was over one of her social media posts. She posted a video on her Instagram story where she was dancing and singing to the song Ready or Not and said the N-word while singing it. She did issue an apology right away when she saw the backlash she was receiving from it. Now, James Charles got into the same drama just a few weeks ago on New Year's Eve when he was accused of lip-syncing the N-word in a video. So if she was forgiven, shouldn't he be as well? Or should they both not be forgiven? Where's the line? In spot number 7 is Danielle Bregoli, also known as Bad Baby, or as the girl from Dr. Phil who started the whole "cash me outside, how about that" thing. Y'all, I gotta keep it real with you, I am pretty annoyed at the fact that the girl was on Dr. Phil for being abusive and disrespectful to her mom and somehow ended up as a famous rap artist by the age of 16. As of right now, her net worth is around $4 million. Not only does she produce music, but she's also famous for getting into feuds with other social media stars. Video footage was leaked in October 2019 showing Danielle attacking Whoa Vicky in a studio and basically fistfighting for a solid 10 minutes. Personally, I could live without this girl, and I would never want my kids looking up to her. Some people would probably agree with me, while her diehard fans won't. Just type her name into YouTube after this and get back to me. Sliding to number 6 is Farrah Abraham. She first became famous from being a young mom on the show 16 and Pregnant, and then went on to be one of the OG moms on MTV's Teen Mom series. But throughout her career, she's done a lot of questionable things for someone who is sharing her motherhood experience with the world. It would take me way too long to name all of them, but to name a few: she made a sex tape, which was leaked. She has her own line of sex toys. She live streams her butt injection appointments with her 10-year-old daughter in the room, and even films twerking videos with her. Most recently, she's being slammed for posting videos on a yacht in a lacy red bikini with her daughter and some random man playing the violin. Fans have actually started a petition on change.org to have her daughter Sophia taken away from her. Halfway through at number 5 is Nick Carter. Of course, we love seeing him up on stage with the rest of the Backstreet Boys, but in the past decade, he has been in a lot of controversy, and fans don't know what to think anymore. Recently, he's made headlines for getting a restraining order against his own younger brother Aaron, who apparently threatened to kill his wife and child. But beside all the family drama, Nick has been dealing with a drug and alcohol addiction for years, which he openly admits to. He says he spent a lot of his free time doing ecstasy, cocaine, and drinking a lot of vodka. His addictions even led him to some trouble with the law. In 2016, he was arrested after getting into a physical altercation at a bar in Key West, which ended with him being sued and charged with misdemeanor battery. It's just a lot of chaos and a lot of drama, and although we love seeing him with the Backstreet Boys, it seems like he needs to just take a little break from Hollywood for a bit. And his brother. Moving on to number 4, we have Bette Midler. The woman of many talents has found herself in the hot seat on more than one occasion. One time for using racial slurs, and another time for trying to shame some of her fellow colleagues. In 2018, she was forced to delete a tweet after using the N-word. I will sum up her tweet. In it, she wrote, "Women are the N-word of the world. They are the most disrespected creatures on earth." Although she was trying to stand up for women, she was also insensitive to African Americans, and people were not happy. More recently, in September 2019, she pissed off some people after tweeting out that Beyonce and her large amount of fans should be voting President Trump out of office. People were quick to chime in that 53% of votes came from Caucasians and that it is not a black woman's job to clean up the mess. In our third spot is MTV star Janelle Evans, another young mom known for her time on 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom 2. She has been one of the leading ladies on Teen Mom 2 for years, until she was fired from the show in early 2019. Everything went downhill after headlines surfaced that her husband shot and killed their French bulldog. He actually openly admitted it on his Instagram account. But he was fired from the show a year before that already for making inappropriate remarks about the gay community. He sounds like a stand-up guy. Janelle faced the heat after she defended her husband and threatened to leave the show if he wasn't able to film with her. But despite the cast, crew, and fans all trying to tell her to leave David and continue with the show, she chose him. She left Teen Mom 2 in April 2019 and later in the year announced that she ended up leaving him, but it was too late. Some people do feel sorry for her, but others do not agree with her supporting a man who bashes the gay community and murders a dog. Yeah, no, that's a no from me, girl. Taking over the number 2 spot is Fan Bingbing. She is one of China's highest paid stars and became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood after starring in X-Men Days of Future Past. But she mysteriously disappeared from the limelight and no one understood why until headlines revealed that she had committed tax evasion. The Global Times revealed that Fan reported an income of $1.5 million in a small contract and $7.5 million in a larger contract, which was illegally filed as tax-free income. She was placed in secret detention, which explains explains why she mysteriously disappeared out of nowhere, but she was eventually released after her company agreed to pay $130 million back in taxes and fines. Once she emerged back into the spotlight, she issued an apology saying that she made a mistake, but the only mistake she made was getting caught. Girl, we are all out here paying our taxes and you make way more money than the most of us. Pay your taxes. We have made it to number 1, you guys, and we have Wendy Williams. Just a few days ago, she left fans furious after she talked about the Golden Globes on her show, The Wendy Williams Show. She was making commentary about the awards night, and when speaking of the Oscar-nominated actor Joaquin Phoenix, she mocked the scar he has above his lip. She said that when he shaves his mustache, he has a hairline fracture, and then went out to point out his cleft lip while she literally physically demonstrated it with her hand, completely mocking him. People were outraged, even one of the most iconic females in Hollywood, Cher. She sent off 2 fired up tweets, one saying, "Does an apology make up for this?" And then in her second tweet, she said that Wendy should be fired for making fun of something that is actually very painful to people born with a cleft lip. Wendy did issue an apology, but we have to see how things will settle from here on out. Starting us off at number 10 is Ronda Rousey. The UFC fighter was adored by many fans, then she made some insensitive remarks towards transgender fighter Fallon Fox. During an interview with the New York Post, she criticized Fox for competing in the women's division, saying, I quote, "She can try hormones, chop her pecker off, but it is still the same bone structure a man has. It's an advantage and it's not fair." People were quick to point out how untrue it is because apparently hormone therapy reduces bone density in trans women, but also it was just incredibly rude. Surprisingly though, she has been able to continue with her fighting career since those comments, but still finds herself in the middle of controversy all the time. She got a big mouth. Coming in number 9 is Gene Simmons. The Kiss musician has always been known for speaking his mind, but one time he took things a little too far. During an interview with songfacts.com, he spoke about depression and dismissed it as a mental disorder. His exact words were, "For a putz 20-year-old kid to say I am depressed, F you then, kill yourself. I am the guy who says jump when there's a guy on top of a building who says that I cannot take it anymore, I'm going to jump. Like, why are you announcing it? Shut the F up, have some dignity, and jump." For obvious reasons, he received a ton of backlash. He later apologized and said his remarks were wrong and in the spur of the moment. I feel like these comments are kinda hard to forgive. It's hard not to lose respect for him after that. Amy Schumer. The comedian has been accused of going too far on multiple different occasions, and some people might say she should have been forgotten about a long time ago. I personally find her hilarious sometimes, but it doesn't mean that I agree with some of the comments she has made. She has a long history of inappropriate jokes regarding the female body, race, and sexual nature. She also made a really bad joke about Ryan Dunn's death. He was known for his time on Jackass and died tragically in a car accident. During one of her skits, she took a jab at Ryan's longtime friend Steve-O and said, "I'm sorry for the loss of your friend. I know you were thinking, it could have been me, and I know we were all thinking, why wasn't it?" She was actually booed on stage for that joke. So, are these considered jokes, or is this too far? What do you guys think? Taking over the number 7 spot is Lance Armstrong. He was known to be one of the greatest cyclists of all time until he became famous for being a part of the biggest doping scandal in cycling history. The one thing that no one will tolerate is an athlete using drugs and cheating the system of both performance and strength. It was hard for fans to hate him because he was a heroic cancer survivor who strived to inspire others, but they could not ignore how wrong that it was. The US anti-doping agency said he ran the most sophisticated, professionalized, and successful doping program that sport has ever seen. He was stripped from his cycling titles, dropped by all of his sponsors, and was banned from professional cycling races altogether. In 2019, NBCSN released a 30-minute special called Lance Armstrong Next Stage, where he said he is at peace with all of his consequences. Well, amen, praise you Lord. I'm so happy you're at peace. Moving along, we are at number 6 with Dave Chappelle. The comedian made a return to the limelight after peacing out to Africa at the height of his career, but when he made his return, he didn't waste time before offending people with his insensitive comments. During his 2019 Netflix special called Sticks and Stones, he stirred up a lot of controversy after making jokes relating to the Michael Jackson allegations. HBO released a documentary where 2 men came forward and shared their detailed story of how the pop icon sexually abused them as kids. Dave thought it would be funny to crack jokes about it and said, "I'm gonna say something I'm not allowed to say, but I gotta be real. I don't believe these mother." Now, everyone is allowed to have their own opinion, but people thought the way he went about it was just incredibly insensitive and kind of unnecessary. Or very unnecessary. Halfway through at number 5 is Alec Baldwin. He's been on Hollywood's most hated list for quite some time now, and for many different reasons. One reason was because he attacked a paparazzi and pinned him to the hood of a car after punching and kicking him and trying to destroy his camera. Or the time he went off on a racist rant to another photographer outside of his building, yelling racial slurs and telling him to suck his. There's too many rants and erratic behavior to name in this video, but it also doesn't help that he plays President Donald Trump on SNL. He made some controversial comments about it, saying, "Ever since I played Trump, black people love me." Basically, he's just always at the front and center of a new scandal. Up next, number 4 is Jay-Z. This year he is celebrating 12 years of marriage with his wife, the one and only Beyonce. Many people look at them and their adorable little family and hashtag couple goals. But why have we just forgotten about the fact that he once cheated on her? Like, so many other people in the media get ridiculed for being unfaithful. I'm a little confused. Rumors started to spread that he was cheating, and in 2017 he finally admitted that they were true. The two of them did stay together and went to therapy to continue growing as a couple. So they have a happy ending, but I just gotta say, like, why were people so forgiving when it came to him? That is probably one of my biggest pet peeves in life, because like, in real life we're sitting there being like, oh, just give him another shot, like Brad, we want Brad and Jennifer Aniston back together. Like, we wouldn't tell our friends to get back with their cheating ex. Why do we do that with celebrities? In the third spot is Lorde. The singer is never making bad headlines. She usually stays pretty quiet in her Hollywood life. But she had to issue an apology after making a disrespectful joke about Whitney Houston's death. Why anyone would ever make a joke about that is beyond me, but it appeared like her intentions weren't meant to be bad. She posted a picture to her Instagram of a bathtub being filled with running water and titled it, "And I will always love you." Obviously I'm not going to sing that, but it is referring to the iconic lyrics from one of Whitney's songs, but it was also referring to her death because she died by drowning in a bathtub. After the backlash, Lorde deleted the post and issued an apology saying that she loves Whitney and meant no disrespect by it. Taking over the number 2 spot is Onision. The OG YouTuber has been on the platform since 2006 and has amassed over 336 million views with his videos. But he has left the world in shock after allegations surfaced claiming that he has abused teenage girls. A woman named Billy Dawn Webb came forward with screenshots saying that he harassed and groomed her when she was underage. In the screenshots you can see that he suggests punishments to her, like forcing her to get a tattoo and being chained up in a basement. After the first allegation came forward, other girls have come forward with their own stories. An FBI investigation has officially opened up, and even though he is a husband and father of 2, he is not getting special treatment. Chris Hansen, famous Dateline NBC journalist, showed up to his house and the YouTuber called the cops on him. The entire 911 call was recorded and posted online just a few days ago, and I suggest you go listen to it because it's pretty great. We've made it to number 1, you guys, and we have Conor McGregor. This one sparks a big debate because he is one of the most successful and adored fighters in the world, but also the most hated. He's received a ton of backlash for some insensitive comments he's made and also for his erratic rage. He was arrested and charged in 2019 after he took a man's phone and smashed it on the ground, completely destroying it, and then he picked it up and walked away with it. The whole thing was caught on tape, and the man filed a lawsuit against him to sue him for battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. Because we all get emotional distress when our phone is broken. He demanded $15,000 for repairs, but the two of them reached a settlement. He was also facing charges with felony robbery and misdemeanor criminal mischief. If that is not enough, some people might argue the fact that people pay big money to watch his fights that only last about 45 seconds. But hey, if he is that good, he is that good. G says, I would never be able to do your job without laughing my ass off. Yeah, I'd get fired. I laugh my ass off all the time. Have you seen my bloopers? Trust me, if I have not been fired yet, you'd be fine. Kelly Carberry says, don't know why some people feel the need to change their photos. Be proud of what God gave you. Say it for the people in the back, girlfriend. I totally agree. Terry Vander says, love the video, but the bloopers made my day. Honestly, comments like this make my day. We just want to make people laugh. And apparently the bloopers is what makes people laugh. Sajejka1 says, what do you look like without makeup? Well, I've posted some makeup free pictures on my Instagram if you really want to see, because there's no shame in my game. Our Stockholm says, can this please be a Kardashian free 2020? I mean, I wish I could tell you yes, but realistically, they are not going anywhere. We're just gonna have to live with it. The Unknown says, aw man, I thought it was gonna be Cardi B at number 1. Wait, what? Do we want to forget about Cardi B in 2020? I love her. I don't want to forget her. Vi Walker says, in World War VI, you'd still want Liam Neeson by your side. You're probably right about that. I mean, no one's denying that he's a badass. Just a little crazy. Merk Marley says, really Joss? Offensive? Alright, offensive, offensive, same thing. Literally the same. Do you say offensive or offensive? Offensive. Yeah. Is it a Canadian thing? Maybe it's our accents. Leave me alone. It's offensive. Sheena Lee says, Ariana Grande has a brother? Surprise! It's actually her half-brother though, but they do look a lot alike, in my opinion. Michael Yustiano says, so the host is a celebrity now? YouTubers are considered celebrities? I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but yes, there are some very famous YouTubers and Instagrammers. Welcome to 2020. Kathleen Dunlap says, Ariana Grande cannot sing at all. Girl, you cannot even say that. She has an incredible voice and I have seen her in person singing. And she's great. Devin Wiggles says 2 things. 1, does Joss have siblings? 2, down the rabbit hole sounds like butt stuff. Yes, she could have picked a better book title. I agree. And yes, I do have siblings. There are 4. And me. Kaylee Schwander says, just gotta say I need that outfit. Girl, you can have it. I don't even remember what I was wearing, but you can have it. Michelle Carter says, had beef with the Food Network. I see what you did there. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I thought it was pretty clever, for me anyway. Triumph says, I'm part of the Joss gang. And then Carrie Baxter responded with, honorary red bandanas for the members of the Joss Club. I would love if we could start this gang. I was kidding, but if everyone wants to get a red bandana, I'm all for it. Alice Angel 764 says, how dare you, Tyler Oakley is still relevant today. Nobody said he's not relevant, I just pointed out a fact that he went from millions of views to 30K. That's all I was saying. Spitting out facts. Oh, you've pressed play. Alright, here we go. Energy! Intro song. If you don't know who she is the anime cosplay She's the anime cosplay. Why can't I say cosplay? What the? I'm getting mad. She is the anime Nope, me. She is the anime cosplay YouTube. Why can't I say this, Chris? I'm getting so mad. I will sum up her tweet. In it, she wrote, women are the N-world. N-world. She said that when he shaves his mustache, he has a She said that when he shaves his mustache, he has a hairline fracture, and then went on to call it a cleft. Wendy did issue an apology, but we have to see how things will set her. Okay. Set her. You're on pigtail duty today.
I'm watching.
This is some serious business, pal. Pigtails are not a joke. Okay. That's so messed up. Like, pardon? Pardon? I just feel like maybe you shouldn't poke fun at someone's death. I was too busy singing that song. Really nice. Do you see that video of the girl who messes up? You also have to watch this little girl trying to sing Whitney Houston after. Anyways, she's horrible.